with its wars, disease, and brutality. You with your innocence and grace, restore some pride and dignity to a world in decline. Welcome to a special place in a heart of stone that's cold and gray. You with your angel face, keep the despair at bay, send it away, and show me the meaning of the word. Show me the meaning of the word, 'cause I've heard so much about it. I don't wanna live without it. I don't wanna live without it. Oh, I want love. I want love. I want love. Welcome here from outer space. The Milky Way still in your eyes. You found yourself a hopeless case, one seeking perfection on earth as some kind of rebirth. So show me the meaning of the word. Show me the meaning of the word, 'cause I've heard so much about it. Don't make me live without it. Oh, love. I want love. I want
I think it was about 20 bucks. I picked this up, I think at a local Barnes & Noble, so it's fairly readily available, but it's a good little book. It's really an interesting piece to have around. It's got a lot of great shots in it. Here's an old Boland's. Got some old ads in it, and you know, the tractors are just, you know, they're just cool as all get out. All these early, call them walking tractors, old Graveleys, you name it, it's in here. A friend of mine actually has an old harvester like this. I've used it many times. His has a belly mower on it, and aside from almost killing myself on it when I pushed in the clutch going up a hill, not smart at all, but I learned my lesson and I lived to tell the tale. But really a cool little tractor to work around, and it's still pulling its weight. But mostly this is about the smaller garden tractors. Got Speed X's in it. There's another Boland's, and really cool stuff. Really interesting to look at. Tells about some of the flops, and then some of the better tractors. The section on Cub Cadets. Basically, it handles it by years. So you know, it goes through the 50s. You know, it tells about post-war and when these little tractors started to come into use more, and then it just goes, you know, on down through the years. Cool Alice Chalmers. There's actually one just like this on Craigslist here locally right now. Man, I am so tempted. It's a B10, And I can't tell from the picture, you know, how bad off it is, but it looks complete. I don't know, it's about 400 bucks, but my wife is going to absolutely kill me if I drag in another project right now. If we were a little bit farther along in the house, maybe so, but I'm telling you, I am tempted to head up the turnpike and slap that on the trailer. But hopefully it'll be gone before I can talk myself into trying to call him. And let's see here. Here's one of those crazy Cub Cadets. I learned just today, I was reading about why they did this. They painted these up in like circus animal motifs, and you can see it right here. The reason they did that is because they were switching from the geared transmissions over to their first hydrostats, and they probably, you know, with some feedback from customers, that they were a little wary of these newfangled hydrostatic transmissions and how they would hold up. It probably just sounded like a cheap gimmick to them, and instead of the old tried and true. So what they did is they painted these up like circus animals and would run them around in circus acts, go on the road with them, and do stunts on them, trick around on them, and just abuse the transmission, slam it in forward and reverse, and, you know, get wheelies out of them and whatever else they were doing, just to prove, you know, that they would hold together. So I don't know how well that worked out for them, but obviously their tractors did just fine and sold just fine with the hydrostats. As a matter of fact, they're the more, or at least some of the more desirable ones if you look for them now. Here's some Massey's, and just a lot of cool stuff. Minneapolis Moline, and just really interesting, really graphically sharp looking tractors. Just really striking colors and graphics, and just cool stuff. Somewhere in here, some more Bolins. Somewhere towards the back is a, they do have a Sears. Here's the Sears right there. That's a really sharp one. I think that's a, I don't know, 10 or it's a 12 horse, but it's in that classic blue, Sears blue I call it. I think I remember them having, you know, their station wagons or vans, service vans that would come out to your house and fix your washing machine that you bought at Sears, and they'd be painted that color or a similar color, maybe more green, with the old Sears logo. But that's a sharp looking one. Mine is not going to be all dolled up with the baby moon hubcaps or any of that, but really cool to see that. Anyway, this is a great little book. If you guys, probably most of you already know about it, but I thought I would just throw this little review up in case you haven't. And really interesting to look at. I don't know how much reference material you'll get out of it because it can't go into any depth on any one topic. I really like these simplicities. I don't know, I think this might be like M. Byers. I'm not sure if it is or not. I have to take another look at some of his videos, but those are some great looking tractors, and I know they're tough as nails. Anyway, cool book, and recommend you checking that out.
Time for me to hit on